Hello everyone, my name is Steve Van Ostenbroege and I am the Executive Director of the Institute of Certified Professional Managers, also known as ICPM. So today we're going to talk about why you should get a certification from ICPM. We're going to cover different topics and different areas associated with that and finally get to the idea of why you should get one. First off, who is ICPM or what is ICPM? The Institute of Certified Professional Managers has been around since 1974. We have certified thousands of different individuals within a general management certification over the years. We are an international body. You could say we are considered one of the largest general management certification bodies in the United States. We have two primary certifications that we have. The first one is the Certified Manager, also known as the CM certification. And the second one is the Certified Supervisor, also known as the CS certification. So knowing that, we're going to start off with what's the difference? What is the difference between a CM certification or a CS certification? So the first one, the CM, the Certified Management. That is considered our flagship product. That is what we're the most proud of. That is what we started doing many years ago. So that stands for the Certified Manager, and it essentially is geared towards middle managers, upper managers. And the reason for that is because the CM certification validates the management concepts and principles which you as a manager are using on a daily basis. We want to validate those competencies. The competencies of leading, controlling, organizing, and planning, which are the four primary tenets of managers. So for the CM certification, when you come and get your certification in the CM program, it's the idea of validating the things that you already know. Okay? We want to validate and we want to verify you as the individual that you have the ability to manage. You should know this stuff already. We're not teaching you something. So this also gets into the ability and the potential of being able to lead with a certain level of competency within your business, within your industry. The CS, or the Certified Supervisor, on the other hand, is geared more towards the first-line supervisors or even those individuals who are not even certain that they're getting into management. They might not have any management experience yet. So the CS program is an awesome stepping stone, for lack of better words, to get into the CM program once the eligibility to the CM program has been met. And again, CM program is dealing with those managers who have been managers for a long period of time. You're validating those competencies which you're using on a daily basis. The CS certification is for those individuals that may be interested in management, may be heading towards management, maybe have just become that first line or that entry level manager and want to essentially set themselves apart, which actually brings into the next question was, what does that represent? What does getting a certification represent, and what exactly does it do? So when we talk about ICPM's certifications, again, either one, take your pick between the CM or the CS, does not matter. But when we talk about those certifications, a couple of things need to come to mind. We are a general manager or general management certification. I mentioned that earlier. So what does that mean? So the idea of a general management certification is this. It is able to be applied and utilized as that tool, as that confirmation, regardless of what job you might be held or hold now or that you'll be going into in the future. So for instance, if I am a project manager today, what I am doing in that role requires certain certifications. If I leave that role and go into something else, I might not have a need for that particular certification. A general management certification, again, as previously stated, covers the tenets of managers, the leading, controlling, organizing, and planning. Every manager needs to have the ability to do those things. Having a general management certification allows for you to transfer jobs, roles, industries, you name it, and apply or carry that certification with you. It's not specific to a very specific industry or a very specific job role. Well, that is the idea of a general management certification. When you look at this and when you move, you take it with you wherever you go, okay? most people, and I don't have the statistics in front of me right now, but most people do not have a single job for their entire life. They're going to transfer different jobs. They're going to go into different industries, potentially. Now, that may also depend upon experience and education and a host of other things, and that's okay. But as we look at this and say, look, can I take this? Can I differentiate myself when I go someplace else? Okay. So we're validating what you should know from the CM perspective, learning a bit more from the CS perspective. So when I receive the certification and work within the management field, everybody will understand and know that this individual has the knowledge and competencies and has proven it. So when we get this certification, what I talk about is this. The biggest point of any kind of certification is this. Differentiation is the key. Now, depending upon what role you may hold today, whether it be in sales, whether it be in management, sales management, or anything else, the idea of setting yourself apart is a positive thing. Consider what you have in your resume. When you apply for a job, your resume is your first impression. That's what the HR manager, that's what the potential employer is going to be looking at and saying, okay, who is this individual? And more often than not, again, I don't have statistics to highlight this, but more often than not, when a job opening comes up, you're probably not the only person applying for that job. There's going to be other people that want that job as well. So what sets you apart? In other words, when you're talking to that hiring person at that organization you want to work for, what sets you apart from all those other people that are trying for that same job? Is there a way to set yourself apart from that stack of resumes which are sitting on the HR manager's desk? How about differentiating yourselves with a certification? So take this example. If I have a certification and a bachelor degree, and I am competing for a job against someone else that has the bachelor degree as well, they have the same amount of time and experience in that particular job opening as you do. So essentially everything is comparable between you and this other person, but you have a certification. Now, that doesn't automatically mean you're going to get the job, okay? We actually have the interview process and everything else that goes along with getting hired into a job, and that's certainly something we're not going to discuss today, perhaps in a future video, but not today. Point being is that you now have something that sets you apart. You are different than that one other individual by saying everything else is the same except you have a certification. So what kind of certification? A general management one, meaning you now have some idea and knowledge associated with the concepts of management. As an HR manager, I might be looking for somebody that I can feed into or move up into the role of managers, and this is the perfect opportunity. As an example, when I talk to people, I use this example as well. All right, so every year you're required to pay taxes. The IRS likes to know how much you make, and they want to be able to take their taxes for whatever the reasons may be, suffice it to say. Many of us might be able to do our taxes on our own. Years ago, I used to be able to do it. You get the 1040 EZ, fill that out. It's pretty simple. I had a single job, whatever that job may have been. Fill it out one page, mail it in. I am good. Okay. Unfortunately, as the years go by, if you have different jobs, you have more than one job. Perhaps in that 1 year, you may have switched jobs. So now you have multiple paperworks and things of that nature. So many people will probably reach out and say, I need some help. I'm going to go someplace and have them help me do my taxes. So let's talk about a role, a business role, anywhere. Again, you're going to talk about a bookkeeper versus a CPA. Now, I want to be very clear and throw the disclaimers out there that I am not a CPA. I am not a bookkeeper. Okay, I did not study accounting, and I'm not trying to minimize the role of any of those individuals in any of those jobs out there. Okay, I'm just using this as a very, perhaps a lousy analogy in a scenario to show you the difference of what we're talking about. An accountant or a bookkeeper, okay, the accounting is the industry itself, so within that we can look at a bookkeeper. So what does a bookkeeper do? A bookkeeper maintains the records of money moving in and out of the organization. Okay, they're dealing with the debits and the credits. Good. A CPA does the same thing. Okay, in a very general sense. Again, I know I'll get a lot of email feedback regarding this. Oh no, that's not true. Okay, from the perspective of the industry, the job role of accounting, a bookkeeper does accounting, a CPA does accounting. Now the CPA, though, is a state licensed accounting expert who has passed the uniform CPA exam and has proven that they possess the required education and work experience necessary to hold the title of CPA. Okay? Bookkeeper does not. Bookkeeper may have went and got an accounting degree, accounting training, what have you, and works as a bookkeeper, kind of tracking debits and credits and the flow of the money of the organization. CPA has taken that exam, has proven it to him. Back to my example. Tax time. You want to go out and you want to get your taxes done. Who do you go to get your taxes done? If there's not a large concern or many problems, wouldn't have any problems going to a bookkeeper. Let them handle or help you complete the paperwork necessary to send in your taxes at every year. That's fine. Okay. If you have a lot of things taking place, a lot of transactions, you have different forms and everything that need to go together, most people, and again, I'm not speaking for everybody, I don't want to do that, but many people would look and say, no, I want to get a CPA to help me with this. Or at least have the bookkeeper do the paperwork and then have that bookkeeper give it to the CPA so that they can verify it and sign off on it, that this is legitimate, that this is good. Did you ever ask yourself why you do that? I know why I do that. Okay, so I can only speak for myself as in an experience perspective right here. I would prefer to have the CPA sign off, meaning they've looked it over, analyzed it, reviewed the work that perhaps someone else did, or they did, and signed off and said, yep, Steve, this is good. Why? They've proven to me that they know what they're talking about in the world of accounting. They've taken that exam. They have proven to me that in order for them to have those 3 letters at the end of their name on their business card, CPA, that they have proven to a state certified body that they know what they're referring to as it comes to accounting. Now apply that to management. Okay, we don't necessarily have a state licensed management out there, okay? Because I mean that's a different industry, different umbrella, but you're still looking at this, and now go to the HR representative to say, I have someone who has the same experiences, knowledge, everything that Steve does, but Steve holds a CM, meaning Steve took that exam. Steve has proven to the certification body that he knows what he's referring to in the world of management. If I'm hiring one of these 2 individuals, I might be leaning more towards Steve just for the fact that he has proven himself. In other words, I have now differentiated myself. I have brought about the kind of the outward perception of I know what I'm talking about. I have proven it. I've taken the exams. So how about come to ICPM and take your exam? Take a look at the website. Take a look at what it takes. You have the experience. How about telling the world that you actually do know what you're talking about? And if that helps you get promoted within your organization, if that helps you find that new job, why wouldn't you do it? On that note, signing off, more topics to come. See ya.